It's alright. Hush.
Yo guys, what is up? Max on Outriders video, and today we're talking about a max damage one-shot Trickster setup that I now use to solo all T15s. This is my new setup, and it's my new favorite setup because it's ridiculous. This build is basically just, if we can one-shot everything in the game, then nothing will be able to kill us because we'll always be getting our passive and everything will be dead. Literally, this build, like 4 shots brood mothers, it one-shots all elites. It's ridiculous. Now, you do need some high-end gear, and if you do not have the damage to run this and you can't one-shot things, then you will just die. But with the right gear at endgame, this is one of the strongest builds that I've seen, so I can't wait to share it with you guys. If you guys do enjoy the video, we're on the road to 150k subs. I really do appreciate support in the channel. And guys, with that, let's get right into it. All right, guys, we're going to get into the abilities and the skill tree, and then we'll go over all the mods. So for the abilities, we're using Venator's Knife as our big damage increase. Now, this is going to double all the damage that we deal when we shoot an enemy that's marked. And because we're using pump action shotguns, a huge instance of damage, we're able to hit for these crazy numbers. You will almost guaranteed, if you're rocking this build, one-shot things that are marked with Venators. It's not guaranteed to one-shot them if they're not. But Venators is going to double the damage that we deal, which is amazingly useful. Next up, we're using Twisted Rounds. You guys know what it is. Twisted Rounds is stupid strong, and we're going to be maintaining it all the time. I actually can run through an entire CT15 expedition without ever losing Twisted Rounds with this build because we're always killing things. And then Hunt the Prey. Now, Hunt the Prey does a few amazing things for us. One, it is going to give us a shield bonus when we teleport in, which is a little bit more protection. It is going to guarantee us a shot on the back, and it is also a super easy way to apply Vulnerable, a 25% multiplicative bonus. Now, in my old build, and this is what I use now, this is the same skill tree as my other build. We're using the exact same skill tree, but I'm now getting bonuses from Unforeseen End because when I teleport behind an enemy, I'm getting a guaranteed shot on their back, giving me this 40% damage increase, which is huge for one-shotting things. Absolutely huge, but skill tree hasn't changed there. Next up for mods, and I just want to say one thing with this build. Guys, I struggled for maybe 4 or 5 hours just dying on repeat with this build until I got the damage. If you are not one-shotting things with this build, if you do not have the mods and the gear and the damage, you're gonna go in and you're gonna get whomped because you won't kill things, and then when you're not killing things, you're not healing, you're not getting your shield, and things will just be doing damage to you. So one of the biggest game changers for me for this build was getting the Beret or this T3 mod, Sharp Eye. Killing enemies while aiming down sights grants you 16k firepower for 20 seconds, stacks up to 3 times, plus Bloodlust. Killing shots increase your firepower by 17k, stacks up to 3 times, and deteriorates every 10 seconds. This is like 100k firepower on this one item, and it's going to allow me to get over 300k firepower while I'm in combat. When I have both of these stacked up and I've got some kills, I have over 300k firepower easily, which is just silly damage. So if you can get this mod, it's not necessary. I was using this mod before with Anomaly cooldown and close range with Twisted Fate and Bloodlust. This worked really well, but you're gonna want to be looking for this Sharp Eye mod. It helps so much. Next up, for our shotguns, and I'll go over the mods in a second, but for our shotguns, we're using a pump action shotgun. Now, you want crit damage and close range damage on your shotgun. It doesn't need to be a legendary. It does not need to be Enoch's Blessing. It really doesn't matter. You just want a high firepower, high damage shotgun, and I recommend the standard variant of shotgun, not the breacher. Now, I have Gravedigger's Frenzy on this. This is not my god roll. If I had a god roll, I would get a purple shotgun that rolled with Perpetual Mobile as its one mod, and then I could put a T3 mod on it. Embalmer's Rage that guarantees crit after killing an enemy, I think is my god roll. Tier 3 or Killing Spree. I have yet to get a single pump action shotgun that rolls with Perpetual Mobile. But Perpetual Mobile is what allows us to never run out of Twisted, because when I kill an enemy, or if I instantly replenish my magazine, if you kill an enemy with 35% or less ammo remaining in your magazine, because we one-shot things, there's no chance you run out. I literally can run through an entire expedition, and sometimes you got to be smart. If you're shooting like a brood mother or a boss, just switch to an ad real quick, kill them, and then you'll get your whole magazine back. This is incredible, and it allows us to not run double twisted rounds. I am no longer running the mod additional mag because I don't need it, which opened up another slot for damage. And this allows us to roll even more damage mods. Now, this is all single target, and shout out to Garwood for showing me this. Minefield is an amazing mod for just dealing with mobs. I'm using Minefield on this Emperor's Will with Weapon Life Leech, Close Range, Long Range Damage, and Perpetual Immobile. I will swap to this and just shoot an ad and kill a few ads, and these Minefields will pretty much take out all the little mini creatures if I get overwhelmed. But this is our boss killing and mob killing weapon. You'll one-shot elites in the back. Now, your biggest damage rotation with this build is you want to throw your Venator's Knife, which is going to give you your 50% weapon damage, and you want to teleport in. If you can do all of those quickly, teleport in and shoot them in the back and in the head, you're going to hit for ridiculous numbers with this setup. Next up, let's go over the rest of the gear. So your stats that you should be prioritizing are bonus firepower, close range damage, and cooldown reduction. This is the God roll. Now, there's a lot of options for mods in this game, and just because I'm wearing it doesn't mean that you have to have these things. For example, I like running Mitigation from Death. Killing enemies while aiming down sights grants 45k points of armor for 10 seconds, stacks up to 3 times. So I'm getting Mitigation from Death. This is a ton of armor. Then I'm getting Sharp Eye and Bloodlust. These are all aim down sights things. So Sharp Eye, aim down sights, getting firepower. Mitigation from Death, aim down sights, I get armor. This just allows me to be extra beefy and not really care. If you guys want even more damage, I still like running Damage Absorber, but if you guys want even more damage, you can run the Shotgun mod here. You can run there's tons of different damage mods, but I was using for that 12 mil damage, I switched this. Gonna be honest with you guys, I switched this to a shotgun 10% because I wanted to show you guys the most damage. But for running actual expeditions, I use Mitigation from Death just because we're pretty squishy if we're not killing things. Next up, I'm trying to get rid of this Boomerang's Blades. This pants was just rolled so well. However, I do really like Boomerang Blades because they add extra CC. That initial ricochet of Venators repeating its path is just a extra CC on enemies and extra slow and gives me extra time to hit their headshots. I would roll shotgun damage onto this if I wasn't rocking this. I'm still waiting to get God Roll Pants, but once again, bonus firepower, close range damage. Those are the two stats you want to prioritize. And then Radiation Jump. I know it seems like silly to put a tier 1 mod on, but trust me, Hunt the Prey Vulnerable is so nice to dash onto a captain and just one-shot them. Next up, Gauntlets of the Cannonball. Captain Hunter, increase elites damage by 25%. This is what is allowing me to do even extra damage against elites, and why my damage against elites is so much more than it is against mobs. And then Personal Space, 15% bonus to close range damage. And then lastly, my Predator Boots, stare into the barrel, boost your firepower by 10k for each enemy in close range, stacks up to 5 times, and Emergency Stance. I love Emergency Stance. This Golem health allows me to just have an extra chance at killing something if I get really low. And then stare into the barrel, boost my firepower. As you can see, if I'm surrounded by enemies and I'm killing things, I'm going to have a ridiculous amount of firepower, and that is what allows me to one-shot pretty much everything with this setup. It is so good. A few caveats once again. If you do not have, we're using a lot of T3 mods on here. If you do not have the proper T3 mods, you're going to struggle with this because you won't one-shot things, and then you're just sitting there shooting at something and not healing. The other thing that I want to note is this is not good for co-op play. Do not use this build in co-op play. This is a solo build because in co-op, the enemies get so much more health. You're not going to be able to keep up your magazine with Perpetual Mobile because people will be killing the enemies that you're shooting at. It's just way harder and not very good for co-op play, but for solo play, this is so far the most success I've seen with the Trickster build. So yeah, guys, that is the build and the skill tree. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will catch y'all in the next one, guys. Take care. Peace. I was